Hey guys, this time on Deep Junk, I'm going to introduce you to the most hideous Corvette in existence. Die-cast car or 1-1 or otherwise. Uh, I don't know, I really don't know what to say about it. It is just the most hideous thing ever. Um, let's start with the elephant in the room, which is the graphics. Uh, I'm not sure at Matchbox whose idea this was. But I hope they got fired immediately after this. It looks like Barbie took a dump on the damn thing. And that's the nicest thing I can say about it. Let's see. It's got directional wheels. So somewhere there's a boat trailer or a conversion van that's missing its wheels. We've got casting lines over this front fender, up over the back fender. Those things are so big. Goes beyond Braille. Ray Charles could read that from across the street. I think these are supposed to be side pipes, but it looks like running boards. These little posts. I've never seen a Corvette with vent windows. The back, we've got the tail lights are a little squared off up top. Plastic base. We can't really even go to tell what year this thing is. It's small back window car. It's not a 74. The 74s have a split rear bumper cover. I was looking at the there we go. I scraped a little paint off the lettering, Corvette lettering. That's wrong on the car. That lettering is straight up and down. That's like off of a 80 to 82 Corvette. Yeah, I know I had an 82 collector's edition. So this car is going to be somewhere between 75, 6, and 7. 78 was a big back window car. So yeah, the lettering would have been curved off to the right. So I really don't. I guess for the sake of it, we'll just call it a 75. We'll split the 70s right down the center and call it a 75. Yeah, boy, it's got a lot going for it, guys. So I guess we'll get right to it. We'll tear it apart and get it in the stripper. I just don't know. Anything we do to it has got to be better. We could put it in the grill, in the gas grill outside, and light it on fire. It would be better than this. So stay tuned. Alright guys, the Corvette's out of stripper, and already it looks much better without that pink garbage all over it. Whatever that was, we knew it was going to be bad, and it is. Big casting marks up each fender in the front, over the rear quarters, the B-pillar, tops of the doors, T-bar. Right up here at the back side of the bumper cover, between the bumper cover and the quarter, it's got like it's filled in there. Oops. And right there too, we'll have to get that stuff out of there, trim that up out of the way. Got a nice right across the front bumper under the headlights there. So it's gonna need some metal work. A Corvette needs metal work, imagine that. Yeah, tops of those doors. So, but it is looking better, so it's a plus. Alrighty. This one's not looking too shabby. It's coming along, shaping up. Opened up the exhaust down there. What's supposed to be, I guess, a side pipe. Looked more like a running board. We got the big casting lines off the fenders, off the B-pillar, over the nose. The big stuff's gone. I'm gonna have to run over it again and smooth it out, but it's looking good. The T-bar and everything. Some opened up those places where it was filled in back there at the bumper cover, at the quarter panels. So not too shabby. Alrighty, we got the chassis mocked up here with the axles for the Vette. This is sitting a little goofy. There's no wheels on the passenger side, so there's our close to what the ride height is going to be. That's the wheel and tire that I'm using. Now I set axle tubes down in here. Oops, there we go. And those are where the stock axle is set from the beginning, underneath the metal tab. That suspension, or whatever you want to call it. I cleared a little bit of material to get the axle tubes in there, but that's the height that the axle was at, so I'm just going to leave that there. It's looking good, so I will go ahead and get on with, we'll cut a few notches in the tubing for glue and get those set in there right away, or right away. Get them set in there. We'll set them in and then move on to painting up the chassis. The side pipes, or I guess if that's what you want to call them, I'm not sure how I want to finish them. The chassis be black, but I don't know if I'm going to black the side pipe out or put some kind of finish on it. So I'm going to think about that. And then we got to start picking a color. I'll run over the body a little bit, but that's not going to take too much time, and neither will finishing up the chassis. And then we have to get into paint. So stick around, guys. Alrighty, guys, axle tubes are in, glued in there. Got a little bit of baking soda in with the super glue. So those are in. It's ready to paint. Run over the body one more time, and it's ready for some metal cleaner, and we'll prime it and see what we can see what we missed. Okay, guys, so far we've get a finger out of it there. Get your fingers out of it. Got the Corvette in paint. If you guys are wondering what color it was going to be, right after white with Barbie dump pink on it. Looked at a lot of Corvettes online, looked at paint chips and paint codes, and I just kept coming back with red. Red seemed to look really good. There was a lot of those cars in white, but I wanted something different. Corvette red has got a lot of orange in it, so flame red or whatever they call that. So this is the same bright red that I mixed up for the Nova, 66 Nova, the Three Blind Mice car from a couple weeks ago. The only complaint that I have with this color, I love the color, but when you're putting a taillight in there, if you don't have a chrome rim around it, some kind of chrome trim or something to set it apart from the body, this thing that's got red enamel in there, and you can't hardly see it. You may not even be able to see it. It's hard on this through this lens to see. So, hey Bob, nice car, why didn't you do the taillights? I did the taillights. Well, no, you didn't. So I'm gonna, even with the stoplight red over monochrome, it's hard to see. So I'm gonna play around with that a little bit, see if I can get a color to differentiate the two. Just the black grills up front. The bumper guards I left red. I don't like those bumper guards on these cars much. Windows, we lost the vent window. You can see my mark there on the windshield. I cut them up in two pieces. The windshield they just need buffed up, polished up a little bit. So we have a separate piece in the back there, and then the windshield. Interior, I left it black. The black plastic I cleaned up and then put black insets in the seats and over the dash, the steering wheel. Did our shifter up. Those wheels, we're going to throw them away or sacrifice them to the Keystone Rim God, or I don't know, but we're going to use the axles from them anyway for our mag wheels. And then we got our chassis over here, and if you can see that, I shot that paint back at a distance and fanned it out real big, so when it was hitting the chassis, it was practically drying in air to give it rough effect under the chassis, and it looks like it worked out pretty good. These bring it over here. The wheels, there was a little bit more material that squared off in here, and in the front wheels you could see it real bad. So I trimmed it up just to the suspension piece, you know, and front and back. Painted the side pipes in a gloss black, and I'm going to try maybe a flat or something inside the tube again to differentiate it, and you know, you see that is the exhaust outlet. The chassis looks, I like that. If you feel it's got a rough effect to it, so that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna get busy on. I got a little nick on the body to repair. We're gonna lace the axles and the chassis and get it finished up. Alrighty, guys. This is normally the time of the program when I bring out a finished car and show you guys what I've done and walk you around it, and you know, etc., etc. But unfortunately, this is going to be the end of part 1. Barbie Dump 1, Deep Junk Garage, nothing. As you can see, the Corvette had a little accident. It's not put together either. I didn't, since the accident, I didn't bother to put it together all the way. Right here on the front fender, that big missing chunk of paint. There's one in front of the rear wheel there. There's one here on this back side of this fender, or bumper cover. Several up the other side. I counted 6 places where the paint is scuffed up all the way around the car. I knocked it off. My fault. I knocked it off the table. It hit metal shelving all the way down and ping-ponged off of anything metal it could find before it hit the floor. So yeah, this is the part where we'll say goodbye for this week, and we'll pick it up with the little paint stripper for next week. Don't forget, next week also, guys, we've got that Back to the 50s build with the 3 blind mice. I've got something special for that if I don't destroy it along the way. Should be good. So we'll see you in part 2.